monkey what? Baboon draws. That might not make sense to you. However, it actually has meaning to every Liberian. Why should you work and let somebody else take credit for it? Welcome to Wisdom of Africa, your weekly wisdom dosage. It is me again, Karen, and I'm here to, you guessed it right, give you 5 proverbs, nothing less, nothing more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 proverbs from Liberia. Before I give you those proverbs, did you actually know that Liberia is run by an ex-footballer?
George Weah on the prowl, bang!
Did you also know that it's one of the African countries that had a female leader? Food for thought. That's about Liberia. Proverb number 1 says, teeth and tongue fight, but they'll never stop working together to eat. So just take a moment and think about the workings of your mouth. The teeth, tongue fighting, bickering, sometimes teeth biting tongue gets upset. The thing is, you can't stick the tongue out and go, because the teeth hurt it, and therefore you don't want them to work together. What will happen is your mouth is not going to work well, or is not actually going to chew your food or serve you the purpose for why you have that teeth. So basically, the teeth and the tongue can't avoid each other. What is this telling us? What it's telling us is that sometimes when there is bickering amongst a group or a collective that has to work together, the goal gets lost in that bickering. What is the lesson here? Instead of bickering, we need to learn to work together for the common good of achieving a goal that we've set out. Yeah? So in order for the mouth to be happy, for you to then eat your food, chew it, swallow it, the teeth and the tongue, in which case that is 2 different people, 3 different people, as a collective, get together for a common goal, which is chewing the food, in order for them to find solutions to any difficult situations. Number 2, we come to proverb number 2. Proverb number 2 says, not because you know how to cry means you must be at every funeral. So let me just interchange the wording a little bit. What we're saying here is just because you're the best crier out there, it doesn't mean that you should be at every funeral just because, you're the king of crying or the queen of crying. In short, what this means is that choose your battles wisely. It's not every situation that requires you to voice your opinion just because you one that always has an opinion, or you have the loudest voice, or you're out there. I mean, come on. Sometimes it's good to allow other people to have an opinion too, or to just keep quiet, sit back, reflect, and give others the chance. Simply because you're the best crier out there with a degree in crying, it doesn't mean that you need to go to every funeral. And please, don't come to my funeral. I'm not dead yet. It brings us to proverb number 3. If you hold rope, rope will hold bush. For those of you who don't get the holding of a rope, is that if you start kind of pulling a rope, that rope might come and bring a whole bush with it. What this means and what it's trying to say to us is that you should be wary of a single rope that you perhaps see lying in the forest. For if you cannot see the end of it, you just never know what that rope is tied to, as it might be tied to something larger. So in Liberia, normally this proverb is used in political, for example, situations. or in maybe gossip-charged conversations. Someone says something to out somebody without realizing that that one person you're trying to out for that piece of gossip is actually tied on to maybe 10 other people. So in the process, if you don't proceed with caution, you're outing more than 10 people. That is the lesson here. Be very careful. Don't just hold a single rope thinking, oh, well, it's just a rope, and out that one person without realizing that you're inadvertently hurting another maybe 10, 100, or how many people out there. The lesson here is proceed with caution. It brings us to proverb number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So proverb number 4 says, if the home doesn't sell you, the streets won't buy you. The home won't sell you, so the streets won't buy you. In Liberia, this is normally used amongst parents when referring to their unruly children or unruly people out there. As you all know, the African culture is very big on values and morals and how we behave when we are faced with situations outside of home. The key lesson here is that if you're not taught at home, you will be taught on the streets. I mean, who wants to learn their morals from the streets? You're better off learning from home. So what I would say is, especially for our young children in the diaspora, listen and learn from home. Because if home doesn't sell you, the streets won't buy you. You don't want to go out there and learn from the streets. It's very important to pay attention and learn from home. Learn from within your family.
Go inside, go and get it. Go and get it. Go inside and get it. You know I don't like eating in the room.
It now brings us to the last proverb. Yeah, you guessed it right. It's always proverb number 5. Proverb number 5 says, easy water runs deep. Easy water runs deep. Some rivers may appear still, but please don't be fooled into jumping in because you just don't know how deep they are, especially if you lack the skills to swim or float, because you just never know. So I take you back to the personalities. What it means is like easy water runs deep. You never know. You'll be fooled by the fact that it's easy, but it isn't. I'll give you an example. I went to a filling station. I mean, in Africa, we call them petrol stations, with a friend of mine. Just before we filled up our car, some young youths turn up and they cut right in front of us, and they start whoa, 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 and wanting to fill their car before us. Bearing in mind where we live at the moment, everything is about after you. There's that respect, like I was in the queue before you, you wait until I'm finished before you do what you have to do. But to them, because we are very, old, we looked like easy water, without them realizing that easy water runs deep. When my friend tried to challenge one of these young lads, the young lad, muscly, big boy, whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, long story short, he got punched by an old man, he ended up on the floor, and he lost 2 teeth. I'm not condoning violence. What I'm trying to say is, do not judge somebody by their quiet, withheld personality, because you just never know what emotions they have inside or what secrets they hold within them. Easy water runs deep. As the saying goes, knowledge without wisdom is like water in the sand. Did you like today's video? Did you like the proverbs from Liberia? I think they were all very educational and thought-provoking. Leave me your comments. Tell me what you think. Better still, please subscribe. I mean, there will be more lessons, more wisdom from Africa coming. So join us at Haynock TV. It's me, Karen, again. Until next time. Bye-bye.